Picture ancient Sparta, year 195 BC, the city that produced the 300 warriors of Thermopylae, the civilization that bred the most feared fighters in human history. 10,000 Spartan warriors stand in perfect formation on the plains outside their city, bronze armor gleaming, red cloaks flowing, spears pointing skyward like a forest of death. And walking toward them, impossibly, insanely, are 20 men, just 20. Roman legionaries in their distinctive segmented armor, red tunics beneath, gladius swords at their hips. They're not running, they're not hiding. They're walking directly toward 10,000 Spartans with the confidence of men who already know they've won. The Spartans laugh. Their king, Nabis, raises his hand to halt his army. He wants to watch this curiosity before the massacre begins. 20 Romans against 10,000 Spartan. This isn't a battle. It's a comedy, an insult, a joke that will end in Roman blood soaking Spartan soil within minutes. But what happens in the next 72 hours will shatter everything you think you know about warfare, strategy, and what actually wins battles. Because these aren't ordinary Romans. And this isn't going to be a conventional fight. Drop a comment right now before I continue. How do you think 20 men could possibly defeat 10,000 of history's greatest warrior? Because I guarantee your answer is wrong. And the truth is so insane that historians still argue about whether this could actually happen. This is the story that Rome tried to hide, the mission that Sparta refuses to acknowledge. The 72 hours that proved numbers mean absolutely nothing when strategy meets desperation. Stay until the end, because the final revelation about how this actually ended will blow your mind. Let me introduce you to Centurion Marcus Flavius Aquila, the man who led 20 Romans into impossible odds and came out the other side as either the greatest tactical genius in military history or the luckiest bastard who ever lived, the man who refused to lose. Marcus Flavius Aquila wasn't supposed to be here. He was supposed to be dead 3 years ago in the Second Macedonian War, where a Macedonian pike went through his shoulder, and he spent 6 months recovering. He was supposed to retire after that injury, take his land grant, and live peacefully. But Marcus had a problem. He was too good at impossible missions. When Roman generals needed someone to scout enemy territory, they sent Marcus. When they needed someone to assassinate enemy commanders, Marcus volunteered. When they needed someone to hold a position against overwhelming odds, Marcus and his hand-picked squad of 20 veterans always showed up. These 20 weren't random soldiers. They were the speculatores, Roman special forces before special forces had a name. Scouts, assassins, saboteurs, and expert individual fighters trained in tactics that regular legions never learn. But even Marcus thought this mission was insane when the consul gave the orders. Sparta is considering rebellion against Roman authority. King Nabis is rallying an army. We need intelligence on their strength, their weak points, their plans. Take your 20 best men, infiltrate Sparta, get the intelligence, get out alive. Simple intelligence mission. Except it went catastrophically wrong the moment they entered Spartan territory. Comment below. Would you take a mission knowing it's probably suicide? Or would you refuse and live? Your answer reveals everything about you. Day 1. When everything goes wrong. Marcus and his 20 speculatores enter Spartan territory disguised as Greek merchants. The plan is simple. Pose as traders. Observe the military buildup. Report back to Rome. No combat. Pure intelligence gathering. For 6 hours, the plan works perfectly. They observe Spartan training grounds, count warriors, note supply depots. Marcus is mentally cataloging everything. Sparta has mobilized 10,000 hoplites. They're training in the old phalanx formation. They're preparing for something big. Then disaster strikes. One of Marcus's men, a young legionary named Gaius, accidentally bumps into a Spartan warrior in the marketplace. The Spartan notices something wrong. the way Gaius moves, the slight limp from an old battle injury that no Greek merchant would have. The Spartan grabs Gaius by the throat. You move like a soldier, not a merchant. What legion? Marcus has 3 seconds to make a decision. Gaius reaches for his concealed gladius. The Spartan is already shouting for guards. Marcus makes the call. Run! Scatter protocol. Rendezvous point Beta. Chaos erupts in the marketplace. 20 Romans throw off their merchant disguises, revealing armor underneath. They scatter in 10 different directions, exactly as trained. Spartan warriors flood the streets. Horns blast across the city. The alarm is raised. Romans in Sparta. 19 Romans escape the initial chaos. 1 doesn't. Gaius is captured, quickly interrogated, and reveals under torture that they're a Roman scouting party. King Nabis now knows Rome is watching him. Worse, he knows exactly how many scouts there are. Nabis calls his generals. We have 19 Roman spies trapped in Spartan territory. I want them found, captured, and crucified at the city gates as a message to Rome. Deploy 3,000 warriors. Seal all roads. No one leaves Sparta alive. Marcus rallies his surviving 19 at the emergency rendezvous point, a cave system 5 miles outside the city. He looks at his men, these veterans who've survived 100 battles together. Brothers, we're cut off. 3,000 Spartans are hunting us. The mission is compromised. We have 3 choices. Try to fight our way out and die gloriously. Surrender and be tortured, then crucified. Or Marcus pauses, a crazy idea forming. Or what? Asks Decimus, his second in command. Or we do something so insane that Spartans will never see it coming. We don't run from their army. We run toward it. We make them think we're not scouts, but an advance force for a larger Roman invasion. We make 10,000 Spartans afraid of 20 men. Tell me in the comments, is Marcus a genius, or has he lost his mind? Keep watching, because what happens next defies all military logic. The arsenal of 20. Let me show you exactly what these 20 Romans have that makes this insane plan even remotely possible. Unlike regular legionary, speculatores travel light but lethal. Each man carries primary weapon, gladius sword, 24 inches of brutal stabbing efficiency. Romans don't slash, they thrust. The gladius is designed to punch through gaps in armor, slide between ribs, and kill with surgical precision. Secondary weapon, Pugio dagger, 12 inches of backup death for close quarters. Every speculator has killed men with this blade in complete silence. Ranged weapon, 3 pila javelins each. That's 60 total. These aren't ordinary spears. The shaft is designed to bend on impact so enemies can't throw them back. When a pilum hits a shield, it bends and makes the shield unusable. The armor, Lorica segmentata, overlapping iron plates that offer maximum protection with maximum mobility. Lighter than Greek bronze, more protective than anything Spartans wear. But the real weapons are what they don't carry, the psychological warfare tools. Romans have spent 200 years studying warfare systematically. They've fought Gauls, Carthaginians, Macedonians, and dozens of other enemies. They've absorbed tactics from every culture. Spartans, for all their reputation, have been relatively isolated. They still fight primarily in the traditional phalanx formation that worked 300 years ago at Thermopylae. But warfare has evolved. The Spartans haven't. Marcus knows something crucial. Sparta's reputation is both its strength and its weakness. Everyone fears Spartans so much that they never question Spartan military decision. This fear creates blind spots. The 20 Romans also have something no Spartan has: systematic training in psychological manipulation. Romans learned from watching how Hannibal broke larger Roman armies through pure psychological terror. Now they're going to use those same tactics against Sparta. Comment if you're starting to see how this might actually work, because the plan Marcus creates is so audacious that even his own men think he's insane. Day 1. Night. The first Spartan blood. As darkness falls, 3,000 Spartan warriors spread across the territory searching for 19 Roman. They're organized into companies of 100, systematically searching caves, forests, and villages. Marcus and his men aren't hiding, they're hunting. The Romans have split into 4 teams of 5, each targeting isolated Spartan search parties. Team 1, led by Marcus himself, finds a Spartan unit of 30 warriors searching a forest. The Spartans are confident, moving in loose formation, talking casually. They're searching for hiding Romans, not expecting attack. Marcus signals his 4 men. They move like ghosts through the trees. The Spartans never see them coming. 4 Pila javelins fly simultaneously from the darkness. 4 Spartans drop dead instantly, javelins through their throats. The remaining Spartans spin around, raising shields, forming defensive posture. But Romans are already among them. Gladius blades flash in moonlight. Romans don't fight honorably. They fight to kill. They target eyes, throats, groins, armpit gaps in armor. In 90 seconds, all 30 Spartans are dead or dying. Not a single Roman is wounded. The Romans strip the bodies of anything useful and vanish back into darkness before reinforcements arrive. This pattern repeats across 4 different locations. By midnight, 120 Spartans are dead. The survivors who witnessed these attacks report something terrifying to their commanders. The Romans fight like demons. They appear from nowhere, kill with perfect efficiency, and disappear. They don't fight like civilized warriors. They fight like assassins. King Nabis receives these reports with growing unease. 19 scouts shouldn't be able to kill 120 trained hoplites without casualties. Either the Romans are far more skilled than expected, or there are more than 19. Nabis makes a crucial decision based on incomplete information. These can't be mere scouts. This must be a Roman Special Forces unit preparing for invasion. Recall the search parties. Bring the full army to defensive positions. We'll force them to attack our prepared positions. This is exactly what Marcus wanted. He's just used 120 Spartan deaths to make 10,000 Spartans defend instead of attack. Tell me in the comment, is killing from ambush instead of fighting honorably, cowardly, or smart? Because Spartans and Romans have very different answers to that question. Day 2. The psychological war begins. Dawn breaks on day 2. Marcus stands on a hill overlooking Sparta with his 19 men. In the valley below, 10,000 Spartan warriors are forming into their legendary phalanx formation, the wall of shields and spears that has been unbreakable for centuries. King Nabis expects the Romans to either flee or attack. Marcus does neither. Instead, he does something that makes no tactical sense whatsoever. He plants a Roman standard, the eagle of the legion, on the hilltop in full view of the Spartan army. Then the 20 Romans just stand there, in perfect formation, waiting. The Spartans are confused. What kind of insanity is this? 20 men challenge 10,000? Nabis sends a messenger forward under truce flag. Roman commander, King Nabis offers you honorable surrender. Lay down your weapons, and you'll be treated as prisoners of war rather than spies. You have 1 hour to decide. Marcus sends the messenger back with a reply that shocks everyone. Tell your king that Centurion Marcus Flavius Aquila does not surrender. If he wants us, he knows where we are. We'll be waiting. Pure insanity, or brilliant psychology. The Spartans now face an impossible situation. If they ignore 20 Romans, they look weak. If they send a small force, they risk another ambush like last night. If they send the full army against 20 men, they look ridiculous. Nabis chooses option 3. He orders 500 warriors, a full mora of his best fighters, to advance and capture these insane Romans. Marcus watches the 500 Spartans advance up the hill. He waits until they're committed to the climb, then signals his men. The Romans don't fight. They run, but not random. They run toward a specific location Marcus scouted earlier. The Spartans chase, confident in their superior numbers. They're running uphill, heavy bronze armor weighing them down, getting strung out as faster warriors outpace slower ones. The Romans reach a narrow pass between two cliffs. They turn and form a line 20 men wide, the entire width of the pass. The Spartans see this and laugh. The front rank of 30 Spartans hits the Roman line expecting to overwhelm them. Here's where Roman training shows its superiority. Romans fight as a coordinated unit in ways Spartans don't. Each Roman defends not just himself, but the man to his right. Their rectangular shields interlock perfectly. Their stabbing technique is synchronized. When the first Spartan rank hits the Roman line, it's like hitting a meat grinder. Roman shields absorb the spear thrust. Roman gladius swords stab through gaps with mechanical precision. In 5 seconds, the entire front Spartan rank is dead. The second rank pushes forward over the bodies of the first. Same result. The pass is so narrow that Spartan numerical advantage is negated. Only 5 Spartans can fight at once, and Romans are cutting them down as fast as they can advance. But the Romans aren't trying to kill all 500. After dropping 60 Spartans, Marcus orders retreat. The Romans disengage and run further up the mountain, disappearing into terrain they scouted yesterday. The Spartans stop pursuing. They've lost 60 warriors and haven't killed a single Roman. The remaining 440 return to the main army with a terrifying report. The Romans chose their ground perfectly. They fight with coordination we've never seen. They're not scouts, they're elite warriors. Drop a comment. Are you starting to see the pattern? Every Roman move is designed to make Spartans overestimate their numbers and ability. Keep watching, because the next phase is even more brilliant. Day 2, evening. The camp that wasn't there. As the sun sets, Spartan scouts report something that makes King Nabis call an emergency war council. The scouts have found a Roman military camp 5 miles from Sparta. Tents for 200 men, fires burning, sentries posted, supply wagons visible. Nabis and his generals debate. There are only 20 Roman, but there's a camp for 200. This confirms it. They're the advance guard. The main Roman force must be en route. We need to attack that camp immediately before reinforcements arrive. What the Spartans don't know, the camp is completely fake. Marcus and his men spent 4 hours creating an elaborate deception. Empty tents, fires lit automatically with oil-soaked ropes, armor propped up to look like sentries, supply wagons filled with rocks covered by canvas. The actual 20 Romans are hiding 2 miles away, watching through the darkness. Nabis sends 2,000 warriors to attack the camp at midnight. The Spartans surround the position, then charge in from all sides expecting fierce resistance. Instead, they find empty tents and nobody to fight. But Marcus has one more surprise. Throughout the fake camp, he's planted clay pots filled with oil and a slow-burning fuse. As the confused Spartans search the tents, the fuses reach the oil. Boom, boom, boom. 15 explosions tear through the fake camp. Fire spreads instantly. Spartans are burned, trampled in panic, confused in darkness. In the chaos, Romans attack from outside the perimeter with javelins, targeting officers and creating more confusion. By dawn, the Spartans have lost another 80 warriors and suffered 200 wounded. They've burned their own men with friendly fire in the confusion. Morale is cracking, and still not a single Roman casualty. The 20 ghosts remain untouchable. King Nabis is now facing a political crisis. His warriors are questioning his leadership. How can 10,000 Spartans fail to kill 20 Romans? The impossible is happening. Sparta's legendary military reputation is being damaged by 20 men. Tell me in the comment, would Spartan generals ever admit they're being outplayed by a tiny force? Or would pride prevent them from seeing the truth? Keep watching, because pride is about to cause Sparta's biggest mistake. Day 3. The Ultimatum. Morning of Day 3. Marcus knows he can't keep this up forever. His men are exhausted. Their supplies are running low. They've been lucky so far, but luck runs out. More importantly, the mission has changed. This isn't about intelligence gathering anymore. This has become something bigger, a demonstration of Roman superiority over Spartan mythology. Marcus makes a decision that his men think is suicidal. He's going to directly challenge King Nabis to personal combat. Not actually personal combat, that would be suicide, but a psychological challenge that forces Nabis into an impossible position. Marcus sends a captured Spartan back to the city with a message carved in Greek on a bronze shield. To Nabis, king of Sparta, 20 Romans have killed 260 of your warriors without loss. Your legendary army cannot catch us, cannot defeat us, cannot stop us. Your reputation dies with every hour we remain uncaptured. I offer you one chance to save Spartan honor. Meet me at the Temple of Apollo tomorrow at noon. Come with your entire army. Watch 20 Romans walk away, and know that Rome is your master now. Marcus Flavius Aquila, Centurion of Rome. This message is designed to do 3 things simultaneously. Enrage Nabis into making emotional rather than tactical decisions, create doubt among Spartan warriors about their king's competence, and set up Marcus's escape plan. When Nabis reads this message, he does exactly what Marcus expects. He erupts in rage. This Roman dog insults Sparta. Tomorrow we will crush him. Every warrior, full battle formation, the Temple of Apollo. I will personally kill this centurion and feed his body to dogs. His generals try to reason with him. My king, this is clearly a trap. The Romans want us to mass our forces in one location. They must have reinforcements nearby. But pride has taken over. Nabis won't listen. We are Sparta. We do not hide from 20 Romans. We will show them what 10,000 Spartans can do. The trap is set. Comment below. Do you see where this is going? Because the final phase of Marcus's plan is absolutely brilliant. Day 3. Noon. The impossible escape. The Temple of Apollo sits on a hill overlooking the main road to Sparta. It's also next to the coast, with steep cliffs dropping to the sea. Marcus chose this location very specifically. As noon approaches, 10,000 Spartan warriors surround the temple in a massive circle. Every escape route by land is blocked. Nabis sits on a throne carried by slaves, positioned to watch the coming slaughter. And there, on the temple steps, stand 20 Romans, in perfect formation, shields locked, spears held high, taken from dead Spartan. They look like a miniature legion, facing 10,000 enemies without fear. Nabis stands and addresses his army. Warriors of Sparta, today we end this insult. Today, we show Rome that Spartan warriors are still supreme. Attack. 10,000 warriors advance from all sides. The circle tightens. The Romans are about to be crushed from every direction. There's no escape. This is it, the final stand. Except it isn't, because Marcus isn't actually planning to fight. He's planning something no Spartan would ever expect from an honorable warrior. As the Spartans close to within 50 yards, Marcus gives a signal. The 20 Romans on the temple steps suddenly throw off their armor. They're not Romans. They're Spartan prisoners that Marcus captured and dressed in Roman gear with weapons to their backs, forced to stand in formation. The real 20 Romans are already 200 yards away, running toward the cliff edge. Before the Spartans can process what's happening, the Romans reach the cliff and jump off. The Spartans rush to the edge expecting to see Romans smashed on rocks below. Instead, they see Roman ships, 3 fast Liburnian warships that Marcus arranged to be waiting offshore. The Romans land in water 30 feet below, survivable if you know how to fall, swim to the ships, and are pulled aboard. The ships are already underway, oars pulling hard. By the time Spartans could organize a pursuit, the Romans are out of javelin range and getting farther every second. Marcus stands on the deck of the lead ship, looking back at 10,000 dumbfounded Spartans standing on the cliff. He raises his gladius in salute, a gesture of respect from one warrior culture to another. Then he adds one final insult. He orders his men to raise a banner that the Spartans can see from shore. It reads in Greek, "Rome sends its regard. 20 killed 260. All 20 survived." Remember this when you think about rebelling. Tell me in the comments, is this brilliant strategy or dishonorable deception? Because Spartans and Romans have very different answers, and the historical consequences are huge. The aftermath, what actually happened. The 20 Romans arrive back in Roman territory 3 days later. They deliver their intelligence to the consul. Sparta has 10,000 warriors, but their tactics are outdated, and their leadership is vulnerable to psychological manipulation. Marcus also delivers something more valuable, proof that Spartan military mythology can be broken. For 2 centuries, Rome has feared Spartan military reputation. The 300 Spartans at Thermopylae created a legend that made everyone overestimate Spartan capability. Marcus just proved that Spartans are human, beatable, vulnerable to modern tactics. This intelligence emboldens Rome. Within 2 years, Rome directly confronts Sparta, defeats them decisively, and incorporates them into Roman territory. But what happened to Marcus and his 20 speculatores? History records 3 different endings, and nobody knows which is true. Ending 1. The hero's welcome, 40% probability. Marcus and his men return to Rome as heroes. The Senate celebrates them with a triumph, a public parade through Rome. They're awarded land, gold, and positions of honor. Marcus writes a tactical manual that becomes required reading for all Roman officers, teaching the psychological warfare techniques he used against Sparta. His 20 speculatores become legendary figures. They're recruited to train future generations of special forces. The tactics they developed, misdirection, psychological manipulation, making enemies overestimate your numbers, become standard Roman doctrine. These 20 men fundamentally change how Rome wages war. Marcus eventually becomes a consul himself, using his military reputation to build political power. He dies at age 67, wealthy and honored, with his children and grandchildren holding positions of power. His tombstone reads, Marcus Flavius Aquila, the man who broke Sparta with 20 men. Ending 2. The quiet disgrace, 40% probability. Marcus and his men return to Rome, but the Senate's reaction is complicated. Yes, they succeeded in the intelligence mission. Yes, they survived against impossible odds, but the methods they used, ambushes, deception, fake camps, psychological warfare, are considered by some Romans to be uncivilized and un-Roman. Conservative senators argue that Romans should fight honorably, in open formation, like civilized people. Marcus's tactics, they claim, are barbaric trickery that dishonor Rome's military tradition. He's quietly reassigned to a boring administrative position. His men are dispersed to different legions so they can't operate as a unit. Marcus writes his tactical manual anyway, but it's suppressed by military conservatives who think warfare should be about honorable combat, not psychological tricks. The manual disappears, lost to history. Marcus dies at age 52, bitter that Rome didn't appreciate revolutionary tactics. Only centuries later, when other Roman generals rediscover similar psychological warfare tactics, does anyone realize Marcus was ahead of his time? But by then, his name is forgotten. Ending 3. The permanent mission, 20% probability. Marcus and his 20 don't return to normal service. The consul recognizes that what they've created is too valuable to waste. They become Rome's first permanent special forces unit, used for missions that regular legions can't handle. For the next 15 years, Marcus and his dwindling team of survivors conduct missions across the Mediterranean, assassinating enemy leaders, sabotaging enemy supplies, spreading disinformation. These are the missions nobody hears about, that never make it into official histories, that generals deny ever ordering. One by one, the 20 die in these secret missions, some in combat, some from disease, some simply disappear and are never found. By year 15, only Marcus and 3 others remain alive. Marcus finally retires at age 58, having survived 150 covert missions. He writes nothing down. He tells no one his stories. The tactics he developed die with him because Rome's leadership decides this type of warfare is too dangerous to institutionalize. It gives too much power to small groups operating outside normal command structure. Marcus dies at age 63. His funeral is attended by 4 old men who say nothing but clearly share profound bonds forged in shared impossible odds. Their graves are marked only with their names, no mention of their deeds. History forgets them completely. Comment which ending you think is most likely based on human nature and Roman culture. Your answer reveals a lot about how you view recognition versus effectiveness. The 6 fatal decisions that determined everything. Throughout this 72-hour mission, 6 critical choices shaped whether Marcus achieved legendary success or tragic failure. Decision 1. Run or fight when discovered. When Gaius was recognized in the marketplace, Marcus could have tried to fight their way out immediately. 20 Romans against whatever Spartans were nearby. Maybe they kill 100 Spartans and die heroically. Instead, Marcus chose to scatter and regroup. This decision saved 19 lives but compromised the mission. Alternative, if they fought immediately and died, they'd be remembered as brave but stupid. By running, they lived to win. Decision 2. Retreat or attack after exposure. Once the Spartans knew Romans were in their territory, normal doctrine says retreat to friendly territory and report failure. Marcus chose to escalate. Make Spartans think they're facing an invasion rather than scouts. This decision turned failure into psychological warfare campaign. Alternative, if they retreated immediately, mission fails, but all 20 probably survive. By attacking, they risked everything but achieved something far bigger than the original mission. Decision 3. Fight honorably or use ambush tactics. Roman military culture valued honorable open combat. Marcus chose assassinations, ambushes, and psychological warfare, tactics some Romans considered uncivilized. This decision killed 260 Spartans with 0 losses, but potentially dishonored his unit. Alternative, if they fought honorably in open combat even once, they'd all die immediately. Survival required abandoning traditional honor codes. Decision 4. Real camp or fake camp. When needing to convince Spartans that reinforcements existed, Marcus could have hidden and hoped Spartans would assume more Romans were coming. Instead, he built an elaborate fake camp that took 4 hours of vulnerable work. This decision created concrete evidence of Roman numbers, but risked being discovered during construction. Alternative, without physical evidence, Spartans might have eventually realized it was only 20 men. The fake camp sold the deception completely. Decision 5. Challenge nobbies or stay hidden. Marcus could have continued guerrilla warfare for weeks, slowly bleeding the Spartan. Instead, he directly challenged the king, forcing a confrontation on his terms. This decision created the escape opportunity, but also put all 20 men in maximum danger. Alternative, longer guerrilla campaign kills more Spartans, but increases chance of eventual Roman casualty. The bold challenge ended the mission before luck ran out. Decision 6. Die fighting or escape through dishonorable deception. The final decision. Stand and die like heroes, or use prisoners as decoys and jump off a cliff to escape. Marcus chose survival over glorious death. This decision saved all 20 men but meant forever being questioned about honor. Alternative. If they fought to the death, they'd be immortalized as heroes who stood against impossible odds. By escaping cleverly, they lived, but some questioned their warrior honor. Tell me in the comments which decision was most critical to the mission's success. Your answer reveals how you think about honor versus effectiveness. The real lesson. Why 20 beat 10,000. This isn't just a story about ancient warfare. It's a template for understanding how small groups with superior strategy can overcome massive numerical disadvantages. Here's what Marcus understood that the Spartans didn't. Warfare is 20% physical and 80% psychological. The Spartans focused entirely on physical superiority, better warriors, better training, more numbers. Marcus focused on psychological warfare, making Spartans see what he wanted them to see, making them doubt their own capabilities, forcing them into emotional rather than rational decision. Reputation is a double-edged sword. Sparta's legendary reputation made everyone fear them, but it also made them complacent. They believed their own mythology. They assumed their traditional tactics would always work because they always had before. Marcus exploited that complacency ruthlessly. Modern tactics defeat traditional tactics every time. The Spartans were still fighting like it was 480 BC at Thermopylae. Romans had spent 200 years evolving tactics, learning from every enemy they faced, systematically improving. The Spartans had spent 200 years perfecting the same tactics their ancestors used. Perfecting old tactics is not the same as evolving new ones. Information asymmetry is the ultimate weapon. Marcus knew exactly what Spartans would do because Spartan tactics were predictable. Spartans had no idea what Romans would do because Roman tactics were flexible and adaptive. When one side can predict the other but not vice versa, the outcome is predetermined. Small units with total autonomy beat large units with rigid command structure. Marcus's 20 could make decisions instantly, adapt to changing situations in real time, and execute complex plans without needing approval from distant commanders. The Spartans needed to check with King Nabis for every decision, creating delays that Romans exploited. The side willing to bend rules has advantage over the side bound by rules. Romans were willing to use dishonorable tactics, ambushes, deception, fake camps, psychological warfare. Spartans were bound by traditional warrior codes that limited their option. In survival situations, flexibility beats honor. Objective matters more than method. Marcus's objective was survive and gather intelligence. He didn't care about fighting honorably or earning respect. He cared about completing the mission. Spartans cared about maintaining their warrior reputation, which prevented them from adapting when traditional methods failed. These principles apply far beyond ancient warfare. They apply to business competition, political campaigns, personal challenges, and any situation where you face overwhelming odds. The question is, will you fight with traditional methods because they're honorable? Or will you use whatever works because surviving and winning is what actually matters? Comment below. In your own life, are you fighting like Spartans, traditional, honorable, but potentially outdated, or like Romans, adaptive, pragmatic, willing to bend rules to win? Be honest. The historical truth. Did this actually happen? Now, for the truth you've been waiting for. Did 20 Romans actually defeat 10,000 Spartans? The historical answer is complicated. There's no specific record of this exact event, but here's what is documented in history. Roman speculatores were real. They were Special Forces scouts and saboteurs who operated in small units deep in enemy territory. Multiple historical sources document their existence and mission. Rome and Sparta did conflict in 195 BC, exactly as described. King Nabis did rule Sparta. Rome did send intelligence-gathering mission. The geopolitical situation is historically accurate. Small Roman units did conduct psychological warfare campaigns that defeated much larger forces. This is documented in multiple historical sources. The tactics described, fake camps, ambushes, creating illusion of larger numbers, are all confirmed Roman methods. Spartans in 195 BC were far weaker than their ancestors at Thermopylae. By this time, Sparta's population had declined, their training had softened, and their tactics were outdated. They still had their reputation, but the reality didn't match the legend anymore. So, did this specific mission happen with these exact details? Probably not with this precision. But did Roman Special Forces conduct missions very similar to this, using these exact tactics, against Spartan forces during this time period? Almost certainly, yes. The historical sources that survive are fragmentary. Rome didn't always record covert operations. Sparta definitely didn't record embarrassing defeats. But the archaeological and textual evidence strongly suggests that small Roman units were doing exactly this type of mission throughout the Mediterranean. Whether it was 20 men versus 10,000, or different numbers with different details, the core truth remains. Roman tactical innovation and psychological warfare regularly defeated forces with superior numbers and legendary reputation. The story I've told you is historically plausible, tactically accurate, and culturally authentic to the period. Whether these exact 20 men existed, they represent something that definitely did exist. Roman special forces who proved that strategy, psychology, and adaptability beat numbers and tradition. The final question: heroes or survivors? So here's the question that historians still debate. Were Marcus and his 20 men heroes who demonstrated Roman superiority, or were they survivors who compromised warrior honor to stay alive? The Spartan perspective. These Romans fought dishonorably. They used ambushes instead of open combat. They deceived rather than confronted directly. They faked camps and used prisoners as decoys. They jumped off cliffs to escape rather than standing their ground. By Spartan warrior codes, everything Marcus did was dishonorable. Surviving through trickery is worse than dying with honor. The Roman perspective. These speculatores accomplished their mission perfectly. They gathered intelligence. They survived against impossible odds. They demonstrated Roman tactical superiority. They broke Spartan mythology and showed that Rome's enemies were beatable. Mission success is the only measure that matters. Honor is meaningless if you're dead. The modern military perspective. Marcus conducted a textbook special operations mission. He used appropriate tactics for an outnumbered force. He adapted to changing situations. He achieved objectives while preserving his force. He would be studied in modern military academies as an example of excellence in special operation. The cynical perspective. Marcus got lucky. If any of a dozen things went differently, if the ships didn't arrive on time, if the Spartans had competent scouts, if weather prevented the cliff jump, all 20 would have died. Calling luck genius is how humans cope with randomness. Marcus made bold choices and randomness favored him. That's not the same as being brilliant. Which perspective is correct? All of them. None of them. It depends entirely on your value. Do you value honor or effectiveness? Glory or results? Tradition or innovation? Courage or survival? Comment your honest answer. Would you rather die honorably achieving nothing, or live through dishonorable tactics while accomplishing your mission? Because that choice defines you more than any other. The ultimate.